Ladies and gentlemen, this is a much different video. It's basically gonna be me yapping about Halo, overplaying Halo. Wow, that's crazy. This is Energy Sword Sunday, a series about Halo, brought to you by yours truly, Snugbro TV. Right, so a while back, 343 Industries, our boys, decided to ditch season updates within its game to instead release semi-regular content updates, that come out whenever they feel like it. A lot of people said that this is a sign of a nail in the coffin for Microsoft's flagship title, if it's even its flagship title at this point, because to put it bluntly and honestly, my friends, Halo's relevance and popularity has seemed to dwindle since the launch of Halo Infinite. I mean, this loss of, relevancy has been going on much longer than that, of course, but I'm going to focus on the timeline of Halo Infinite being out because that event is the catalyst for today's video subject. Halo Infinite is a classic example of what not to do for a live service game because, quite frankly, for a long ass time, there was no service. They may have provided us with a dope ass set of gameplay mechanics, a beautiful art style, dope ass music, that shit slaps, but my friends, they teased us with the idea of a better game. A game with more game modes like Forge or Firefight, a game with better hit registration, and ultimately a Halo game with, as its subtitle putting it, infinite content. So maybe because 343, who by the way have new heads as management, are focusing on the future, they don't want to be continue to be tied down to this almost 3-year-old game. But the new Banished update as well as the previous content update that came before it continue to hammer down the idea that Halo Infinite is just a giant cock tease for something greater. Now, 343 a month ago released what was considered to be the biggest and most consequential update of all time. This shit was like when they killed Brian in Family Guy and brought him back, and that shit was crazy, and this is exactly what they're doing. Right, so they updated the networking model to make the game actually feel better. They changed the sandbox to provide a better, more balanced experience within the game, and they added some new maps. But in this video, I shall be negative Nancy. I shall point out that these changes to the literal fundamental networking issues of the game occurred way too late, like almost 2.5 years too late. The sandbox changes were kind of, unwanted, and the new maps added were simply Forge maps to squad battle. Of course, like moving into a 4-bedroom apartment in O Block, it's better than nothing. I also don't develop games. I don't know what it's like behind the scenes. Perhaps it's fucking awful. Perhaps, it's fucking awful rubbing out content for this game. Sorry, I did not need to sound freaky with the word choice. But I think it certainly is awful because our answers to what a better Halo Infinite would look like are shown in its leaks. Now this points to all the Halo fans out there, the ones that are consuming the Halo news, the Halo events, everything like that. Alright, how many times have you heard about the game mode VIP? How many times have Halo YouTubers or people on Twitter talked about how they have it in the game files? Spoiler alert, a lot of damn times. So many times to the point of asking, why can't they just release it? Also, I can't show this in the video because good old copyright, but they have a workable Falcon. And I'm pretty sure the build was from like 9 months ago. If they put that out in an update, that'd be pretty cash money. But they didn't, and they probably won't. Did you know that the last weapon addition to the game was the Bandit Rifle, or the DMR? This is the same franchise with the fucking fuel rod cannon at its disposal, or the sticky detonator, because, that shit was sick. I'm not saying flood the game with weapons like it's a fucking Bass Pro Shop, but you get my point. Forge maps have seemed to carry 343 when it comes to providing new experiences, and a diverse experience at that matter. And a lot of these Forge maps, for example, the most popular ones, are remakes of older Bungie era maps, but even then, that's not reliable. According to forgers who are incredibly in the know of publishing maps for the game, it can take upwards to months before 343 puts it in the game. I seriously don't know what department of 343 is doing when it comes to putting out maps in the game. Perhaps they're fucking ripping jeebs in the bathroom. I really don't know. Not to mention, there is hardly, if any, financial incentive for sitting your ass down and grinding out a dope-ass map for thousands to play on. In other words, I just don't know, personally, how long people are going to continue to create Forge maps if the entire process of doing so sucks ballsack. You're better off cutting roast beef at Subway. Halo Infinite is ultimately a game with infinite potential. But what's the point if you're not going to harness it? It's like if LeBron James showed up to a basketball court only to play Clash of Clans on his phone. You know, sure, he could drop 30 points or so, but what's the point if he's just gonna do nothing? But hey, at least we got new emblems.